And I wanted my levels to be freakishly high because I was still going through delayed puberty and I thought high testosterone was better. But you know what? I felt like complete garbage because my estrogen shot up and I was crying watching The Last Samurai. What's up folks, it's Uranus, we're in Brussels, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the biggest mistake people make when starting testosterone replacement therapy. I myself have been on hormonal replacement therapy for just about 8 years. I started at 25 years old and I've had a lot of conversations with doctors, endocrinologists, people on forums, and also people that I know that are on TRT, and it's always the same mistake coming back over and over again. So let's settle this. The biggest mistake people make when starting testosterone replacement therapy is starting on a dosage that is way too high. And I fell into that trap too. You're thinking the more the better. If you're starting TRT, that means your body is not producing enough testosterone or isn't producing any testosterone at all. So a lot of people think, I've suffered enough, my libido sucks, my muscles look like shit, my cock doesn't work and no one wants to date me, so I'm going to start on a high dose and I will feel like the god of thunder in no time. High dosages, we're talking anything above 125 milligrams per week. Most of the people I know on TRT are actually taking between 200 and even 300 milligrams per week. And some endocrinologists will be fine with this too. Now, some guys metabolize testosterone more quickly than others. That is a fact. It depends mostly on your SHBG levels or sex hormone binding globulin. Me, for example, I'm on 125 milligrams of testosterone per week and my total testosterone is right at the upper limit of the range. But another person on the same dosage might be higher or might be lower. That's why your first months on TRT are really crucial, and we call it the dialing in period. It's much easier to start on a lower, more realistic dosage like 100 milligrams per week and then have blood work after 6 weeks to see where you are, how you feel, and then adapt if the numbers are good and your symptoms are relieved. If you're starting too high, it's already much more difficult because in the first weeks you will feel much better, you will feel phenomenal, like a new man, but then the side effects creep in because your testosterone is too high and it aromatizes into estrogen, and you might have too much estrogen and then you have to manage that. High estrogen can give you depression, libido problems, erectile dysfunction, water retention, all the shit you're trying to avoid in the first place by taking testosterone replacement therapy. And then guys start taking aromatase inhibitors like Arimidex or Aromacin to counter the side effects of the first drug that they are taking in too high quantities. Managing estrogen is actually the hardest part of testosterone replacement therapy. And in my opinion, for a lot of people, it can be completely avoided by starting on a lower, a rather conservative dosage and then adapt. Some guys feel like crap because of the side effects and the estrogen that is way too high, and then they take even more testosterone thinking that it will fix everything. Originally, I started on a testosterone protocol of 150 milligrams per week alongside 1,500 IUs of HCG, and I asked my endocrinologist to start on this dosage that I was way too high because I was going through extremely delayed puberty, which I started at 25, and I wanted my levels to be freakishly high because I was still going through delayed puberty and I thought high testosterone was better. But you know what? I felt like complete garbage because my estrogen shot up and I was crying watching The Last Samurai. So I also made this mistake and I messed around a lot with aromatase inhibitors trying to control my estrogen because my starting dose was way too high. I had a lot of symptoms until I reduced my dosage to 300 IUs of HCG per week and 125 milligrams of testosterone. My levels are still too high, but most of the side effects are gone. Ideally, I should still lower my testosterone dosage because my free testosterone is outside the reference range, so it's not considered as TRT anymore since I'm outside the range. But it's hard to let go of your good old pal testosterone. It can definitely be addictive, especially if you're a gym person, or especially if you've been going through puberty. You started puberty at 25. Testosterone can be addictive to let go of or to lower your dosage, but it's a mistake because the side effects are not worth it. So that's one side, starting with a dosage that is way too high. Then there's the injection protocol and the frequency of injections. I'll make a separate video on this topic, but this one is important too. I've seen a lot of guys that started on protocols of like 200 milligrams of testosterone every 14 days or even every 21 days, every 3 weeks. Now that's generally going to generate a lot of ups and downs, and in my non-professional opinion, short frequency between injections is the best. Personally, I'm on 125 milligrams, one injection of 62.5 every 3.5 days, and it's how I feel the best. And injection frequency is really important, because if you inject 250 milligrams every 3 weeks, that's the typical protocol for Belgium, you are going to end up feeling like dog shit. I've heard a lot of horror stories because a lot of endocrinologists here don't even know what a half-life is. Anyway, those are for me the biggest mistakes when starting testosterone replacement therapy. Starting on a dosage that is way too high and then having a shitty injection frequency protocol. Ending it here. Leave me a comment to support my channel, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Uranus out.